तस्वीर है इसके पीछे। रोलिंग बस आ रहा है। बस आ रहा है। बस आ रहा है। रोलिंग आदमी जाने दो। रोलिंग
ಹೆಬ್ಬಾರು 8th ಬಸ್ದಾಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಾಸ್ಟಿ ಹಾಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಆವಾಗ ಅವರು ಇತ್ತು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ, ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು
ನೀವು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತ.
ಓಕೆ,
ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ.
ಹಾಂ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಮಳೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. You want me to wear a shirt or this is it? ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಲಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಕುರ್ಚಿ ಸ್ಟೂಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು.
I'll be out of frame. I'll be asking questions, but you will only ನಾನು ಕೂತಿರ್ತೇನೆ.
ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದು ಕುರ್ಚಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು. Why is this man looking at the ceiling?
Over the years, you have been involved in a variety of art forms. Like you have been writing, you have been doing dance drama, you had been doing plays. Why is that? Why is it that you went from one art form to another art form?
One is accustomed to see, if it is theatre, certain art forms that he is accustomed to see in his boyhood. Then later on one is exposed to other forms. When he thinks of the form itself, he is made to feel what is the necessity of another form, what does dance do, what does music do, what does prose do. Since these were important to me, I began to study writing such plays, staging them in prose, in musical form, using them as ballet, in dance forms and all that. So this experiment went on for nearly 20-30 years. It's not a day's job. Then very lately, I concentrated on one type. Otherwise, I have experimented every type of form and seen the limitations of each form and the convenience of certain forms. My experiments would naturally be, though I was training professional theatre groups in the normal song mixed prose play. I was concentrating on the function of acting and stage movements of certain theatrical forms like comedy, tragedy. When I see double the music as well as prose, what can prose do? For this purpose, I began to write and study these things. It is only later on I took to a form where I could devote myself for long. Even these things, they are not a day's work. Getting accustomed to the local form lasted up to 1920 or 21 till I was a boy of 18 or 20 years. And then training up the theatrical moments, because I was writing plays, it took 10 years. Then later on, the question of experimentation for 10, 15 years. It is only after that I confined myself to certain forms. In all these things, if it's a professional, you have got a group, you can go on working and do your best. But when it is other new experimental forms, it is mostly amateur groups. I have to choose children or elder people who can sing for an opera play, train young children for a dance play. Similarly, take certain groups who are accustomed to a particular way, and the latest experiment and as well as my involvement was with the Yakshagana ballet form, that consisted of dance, music and plays, non-realistic plays like the legends, epic stories and all that.
Now in this, cut it, go close. Yeah. Talking about Yakshagana, you have made certain changes, like it used to play whole night before, and now you have reduced it to dance dramas. Or would you talk something about that, the changes that you have made?
The changes are very much varied. It's not a question of time. Now nobody has time enough to see a 10-hour drama. That is different. But the changes I have made, what is each medium constituting a drama can do and what it cannot do. What can music do? By way of conveying thoughts, expressions. And when music is a song sung, the linguistic content of a song linked to the expression, then the music is followed by instruments. What is the function of the drum? Is it merely the keeping of the time, or can it contribute to the subject matter? If it is anger, does the drum show that? If it is sorrow, does it show that? If it's tiresomeness, does it show that? So these questions arise. Naturally, here there is the involvement of acting like mime to the song sung. The actor doesn't talk as in a Yakshagana. He acts. So his face, facial features and physical movements on the stage should show something positive in the sense, the medium and the subject matter that he is conveying through the medium. For me it is that. So naturally, you sing a song and have steps work on the stage which has no relation to it except keeping it tala. For me it is no art. For me art, form and content are interrelated. So I had to work in this field where we are not thinking about it. We only think of tala, we only think of technique, we only think of talking for hours together. Here it is not so. In Yakshagana there is a costume. It's an unrealistic play, the Mahabharata. We don't meet gods or demons on the way. It is peculiarly a fantasy costume. What function does it do? It's the same Bhima on the theatre, cinema theatre. He is not the same Bhima here. Here the art of painting and these things, makeup, conveys something totally different. It is not realism. It is suggestive factor of these things. So it is these things I had to devote myself and try to see how these things react on an audience who are not accustomed to the prose play. We play our Yakshagana plays before the audience who can understand the Kannada talk or even the Tulu talk they sing. I am interested in taking that moment to a non-realistic people who are not confined to. In fact, I have taken it to beyond the stage of Karnataka. Every province has seen my place, where Hindi is the language or Tamil is the language. When I have taken up, it's Japanese language, it is Hong Kong Chinese language, it is European language. So, language is not confined, but the content of the things spoken or depicted through songs, that counts. So naturally, that's a different field altogether. Form and content, the relationship. In normal traditional plays, it is only the skill that is displayed. Nobody questions whether your drumming suits somebody who is weeping there, or who is chatting there, who is angry there. For me, this is the concern. It is because of that. I have given up. I have taken all the material from the tradition and tried to use them in a manner where the content is totally related to it. Anything beyond that for me is no art. It may be very clever footwork, it may be very clever play of these things. So when it comes to music, I am questioning, does this raga suit here? Does this narration suit the content of the song that he sings? Does the play of the tabla or mridang, does it suit that? So these are the important things. The changes are many that way. But all the elements are taken from tradition alone. One or two things had to be added on my behalf. Because we have to communicate the content of a song as depicted in a language. When you don't know the language, it is mime that has to follow the content. So mime becomes more important. Mime means not merely facial movement. In a dance drama, it is rhythmical movement on the stage and so many aspects of it. So that is how the change has been made.
So you don't hesitate to throw away, you take, as you said, you take things traditionally, but you don't hesitate to throw away which are not needed things.
To me, it is life and depiction of my emotions, my feeling of art. I and you are now talking in English. This is not our tradition. Why do you talk to me in English? Why do I respect? It is the relationship. The subject matter is important. The communication is important. The tradition or even current is not important. Does it do it? Does it convey to an audience whom you want to say that you are conveying?
That is important.
Ten seconds.